See, me, I'm just a firm believer in divine timing, and I affirm that every day. So what's for me is already working for me. I ain't gotta chase that, I ain't gotta rush that, it's already mine. I'm on my own timeline.
You can't rush my greatness, I've been elevating daily on a mission for my people. All the love I've been receiving, oh, got me oh so dedicated to uplift the world's vibration. This is affirmation of alignment with the highest. This the road less traveled. You don't have a say-so in how I move. You don't know my battles. Can't be on my boat with no paddle. How you talking down on the captain, but moving like cattle? Niggas try to play me, but that shit is funny. Get to know the new me. I've been getting money. I've been changing lives now. Conquer my depression, leveled up, and I'm alright now. Yeah.
Peace to the guys and goddesses. You guys, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Kozmic Konnectionz. And I'm super excited to have Ricky here. Crandell, can you go ahead and introduce our guest for tonight?
Okay. That's a bad piece, family. I hope everybody is doing well today. I hope you are vibrating so high like my man Ricky would say. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for tuning in. Man, this brother, he speak life into the people, giving them a reason to change their focus and perception. Ultimately, quantum shifting them into a higher vibration. This brother is a published author, someone that's well known on social media now. I mean, my boy got a buzz, you know what I mean? And people really loving what he's speaking. But it goes deeper than just speaking about goals, affirmations, or any achievements in this physical realm. We talking 5D talk, you know what I mean? And somebody that has walked a path of being in the streets and jumping off the porch into the spiritual streets. Man, I need y'all to clap it up for the brother, Ricky Prestige.
Much love. I appreciate that. Yes. I appreciate that intro.
Yes,
I love
sir.
it. I love it. That broke me down perfectly. I thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Would you like to start us off? But for those who have not seen you before and don't know much about you, would you like to share with us a little bit about yourself and where you came from and how you got to this space where you're at now?
Yeah, no doubt. First off, my name's Ricky Prestige Leverett Jr. I'm a 5-time self-published author. I speak about metaphysics, the mind, the subconscious mind, creating your own reality, different spiritual topics dealing with our history. Currently, I'm on social media. You know, I got over 250,000 followers throughout social media. The main thing is I'm speaking life into the people. You can follow me, Prestige Speaks, and we about to have a high vibration conversation here. We just getting the energy built up right now. So stick around.
That's facts. That's what I like to hear.
Ashe. So my first question is, kind of like what we were talking about before, because, I think that what we don't understand about motivational speaking, that it should go much deeper than just the words itself. And if you can kind of explain your goals and what you're trying to do for the collective when you're speaking, motivationally, or trying to, give motivation to the people who feel like they're in that space where they're not sure where to go, or they don't even know where to go in their journey, or where they're at in their journey from time to time, Mm-hmm. Would you be able to tell us, just what your goal is and what you're trying to achieve when it is that when you are speaking to the collective?
Yeah, no doubt. And the key word is collective. I feel like the time we're in and just how everything is shifting, how people are waking up to new information, new knowledge. It's a paradigm shift that's happening collectively. This has already been prophesized. So I feel like my role in that collective journey is to speak inspiration into the people that are going through those spiritual awakenings, to relate to them, to let them know that it's other people out there. They're not going crazy. They're not losing their mind. They're activating their higher self. They're going to another level of reality. And I remember when I first began my journey, which happened, years ago, 10, 15 years coming into it now. But when I first started my journey, it felt like a lonely journey, like I was alone by myself. Social media has opened the gates up. It's opened the world up. It's given us the ability to be able to find each other. And my job in that is to be the messenger, to be the one, the orator, or the person that writes the message out and give you that clue without you having to go through some of the same things that I went through. So that's my main goal when it comes to the collective aspect of it and what I'm speaking. And I feel like this, you know, prior to this, when people go through spiritual awakenings or people, you know, have alternative beliefs than the norm, than the regular way that the Matrix would prefer the programming to be, a lot of times they find themselves in a weak spot, like, you know, down and out, or want to keep it a secret, or, you know, scared to speak. And I'm that person that's standing up and saying, no, it's time now. And that's what I feel like my role is.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And I think that's powerful, you know, because and that's another question I actually want to have. I want to ask you is, what was your journey like getting to this point, as far as like the things that you went through and how you transitioned from the street life, or just being in that, you know, what a lot of us go through, and just what was the transition like?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, yeah, definitely. That's a great question. Well, first off, I wouldn't say I was too deep into the streets. Like, as far as it goes with streets, it was just the normal programming that happened next as a black male. I was, you know, my people did things. My brothers locked up, things like that happened. I ran in the streets a little bit, you know, did our things, different things like that. But I never felt like it was right. I always had like they would call me old. They'll be like, we'll be about to do something. They'll be like, and I just be like, bro, y'all ever thought about what if we get locked up for this? And I just bring it all down, and they'll be like, man, you act like an old man. You always tell us stuff that we'll keep you at the wrong times. And I'm like, so even back then, even when I was wide open, I always had that inner voice, but that was shied away because that was looked at as weird, or looked at as, you know, what you on, bro? What you talking about? Like you on something else. But when I stood in my power, even amongst the streets or everywhere I go, it gave me more respect of being myself and giving this type of message. And I would give people books, and my partners and everything, you know, they'll be on something totally different. I slide a book to them. They'll be like, bro, you put me on the law of attraction, bro. I'm gonna get this money. You know? That's how it came about. And once I seen that it was helping the people that was directly in my circle, I said, okay, so now I know I can this can go much further than just helping me. And but my life after that, the wake up point, like the real wake up, was me going to school, going to Georgia Southern, and not being into. I went to school for psychology. I wasn't into it. I didn't graduate. But because I was so focused on the other knowledge, I was listening to Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, the conscious community, the law of attraction, the subconscious mind, the secret, reading all these books, Celestine Prophecy, all these different things. And then I went into the Christianity world for a little while because I knew what was happening to me was spiritual, but it didn't feel like that was the completion. I was all into Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes, and it was motivating, but that wasn't it. And then I found out about metaphysics and the esoteric and the occult aspect, and then I blended it all together, and now you got me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I think, you know, we all have that moment that changes everything. You know what I mean? And that's what the awakening is. You feel what I'm saying? So what did you go through, you know, specifically where that switch just flipped? You know what I mean? And put you on your spiritual journey for you to even be able to speak life into people, right? Because that is a part of metaphysics. You're speaking to almost 1 million or trillion cells in somebody's body. Just like we speak life into ourselves, you're speaking that true life into their cells, into their frequency. You know what I mean?
That's
but,
right.
You know, we all had that point where we didn't have a voice yet. You know, it was just something that needed to happen to make us shift. So what was that situation, or, you know, whatever you had that made you flip that switch?
That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. I mean, I remember I got in trouble a couple times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trouble kind of brought me there. You know, I went to, you know, I got into fights and things like that. And then other things happened to family members that I knew I didn't want to go that direction. I always had that in my heart. Like, I don't want to be just a statistic. I never liked the just direct programming of, you know, I wanted to be successful in my mind's eye. That's what I always thought about. But I think just being, you know, just going with the flow of what they told me to do, like go to school, and it was depressing, bro. Like, it was depressing. And I was, you know, I was at a low point, and I didn't know why, because I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I didn't have any, I didn't have this juice then. I didn't have this juice, but I had to go through that journey and to the point where, like I said, it first started out with just my partners, you know, just, dang, you like a philosopher, bro. You like a, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Into me from a certain extent until I got too deep. Then I ain't see people no more. But at first, that's what they always spoke into me, like, you gonna be a reverend or something. You gonna be a speaker or something like that. So I might have, and when I was younger, I spoke. So this is what I'll say to that. Your journey already laid out. It's already laid out. No matter how your life, you know, the roads and the twists you choose to take. Because when I look back, I always like to write. You know what I mean? I always like to write, but I didn't know that I'd be a writer. Right. I was speaking, you know, and not scared to go in front of the class clown, popular, things like that. So it's like it's almost a natural course, whichever route I would have took. So I didn't really have that self-esteem issue of speaking, but I knew I had to speak about the right things. And that and then it was another step to that. But we're going, you know, once you start speaking online, it's another level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. But the main thing was just depressed.
Yeah.
And searching and finding, and then I learned about the power of the mind, and that's what switched to everything. The metaphysics, the power of the mind, and I started manifesting, and I started seeing it in real time, and I cracked the code, I believe, then.
Okay. Now, would you be able to explain to us what you believe that means as far as cracking the code? Because I know that you do have your books out currently, which are everything's in the link in the bio as well. And I wanted to ask you about your books, because I know that you speak heavily about the mind and the power of the mind, like you said. So can you explain to those who may be watching this who haven't yet understood the power of their own mind and how that shapes our reality and creates our reality as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, step one is universal law. Is all is mind. Like, the construction of this world this reality is based on thought, ideas, and that's how we're structuring the world itself. So when it goes into your own thoughts have the ability to bring you down if they're negative. They have a way of steering your emotions. They have a way of steering what your next step will be in life, where you're going, what you believe about yourself, your core beliefs. The mind stores your stores your habits. The mind stores your old traumas. Your mind stores the programming of your past, what your parents told you, what society told you. So when you gain control of that, because that's all the aspects of reality, you know, the programming, the things we see in front of us is being constructed by our minds, and the way that we feel is being constructed by our minds. So that's the core place to begin at, and then there's other levels to it. But consciousness is what's creating this reality, and it's based on what's inside your mind is how you're going to move.
Exactly. That's beautiful.
And that one. I wanted to ask you another question that was kind of like you already answered it for me, but I was going to ask you, you know, you're a divine masculine doing this thing. I'm a divine masculine doing this thing. We don't see too many of us, you know, really truly represented anymore. You know what I mean? So what would you tell like younger brothers about finding their voice, right? Because I feel like it's a lot of them out there that want to wake up, but like you said, the environment just being popular, there's no way that I can wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the ones that's really out there in the streets, you feel me? They want to wake up, but their environment that's around them. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody in their ear chattering. Oh, you ain't gonna be this, bro. What, you crazy? You weird, bro. Da 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 da. You feel what I'm saying? But they want to find that voice so bad. They just want to speak out. You know what I mean? They want to be a Ricky, man. What would you say to those type of brothers?
Yeah. Well, first off, they need to know it's a setup. Like, the main thing in the streets, you hate to get set up, right? That's the main thing you hate a snake. The whole way that we move and when we follow their program or the project, they call it a project because it's a project and we're in it only as objects. That's what he said. I'm breaking down into lyrics and stuff like that. So it speaks to us through that music, through those frequencies. I got a son, he's 15. He barely hear what I'm saying, but I know I'm putting it in his soul somewhere where to kick in at the right time, it'll activate. So we can't really pound it on them because, we don't understand certain things that they going through, just like when we went through it. But if you a serious man and you really want to win in life, you got to look at it like that's a setup. That's how I seen it. I was like, if the police get me, I lost. If I get shot, I lost. If my mama got to cry and see me dead, like I got jumped one time, and I remember the only thought that came in my mind was, hey, my mama, these I can't let these dudes kill me. Like, straight up. That's all I thought to myself. Like, I'm not finna live my life and get killed by a sucker or like somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta live your life. If you a man, you competitive. So I would say live your life that way. Live your life to be fresh. Live your life to be clean. Live your life to feel good about yourself. And when you start feeling good about yourself, you'll start, it won't matter what they say because you'll be able to see through those illusions. You'll be like, bro, you projecting on me. You want me to fail because you fail, and you'll be able to see it. And so so it's an inner journey. It's on them. It's just like everything else they talk about and puff their chest up and say, I take the ops and do all this. Well, puff your chest up and find yourself, because it's a competition too. And if you can't do that, then you really slack out here. Like that's how you gotta talk to them, I guess. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Understood.
in the BP's love and light. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bro. If you go play yourself, you're gonna play yourself. But if you want to find yourself, then you'll win in life, and that's all they really want to do. That's all they really want to do.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that too. That is, it's all about being authentic. It's all about being real, and it's not all love and light.
Yeah,
it's not. That would mean that the experiences that we had were kind of in vain to an extent. Like, no, those hardships, those things that made you rough and tough and whatever else, you're still going to need to use those later on in life. There's lessons that you've learned in those environments or those situations, and that created you to be the character that you're playing in this lifetime. Right. So we need all of those aspects, the dark and the light, in order to master self in general.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah. I shaded that.
Yes. So what would be and some advice that you would give, because there's a lot of us who want to, there's the collective in general, they desire to evolve, and so the thing is that a lot of them think that it's an overnight process. So what's some encouragement that you could give that would kind of explain the way that this really works, and that it's not something that, because we know that it's not linear. Healing is not linear. We have to go through the ups and downs and collect pieces of ourselves in both aspects, in the light and in the dark. So what advice, or what is your perspective on that? Yeah.
Well, my perspective is we're never the same. It's evolution. We walk through different chambers of life that's going to show us new things, and we're going to become new people. Otherwise, we get stuck and stagnant in that same energy. So I look at it as basic as like when we went from elementary school to middle school to high school to college, and then you became an adult. It's just chambers of life you walk through, and you make your choices on how you want to live in that particular chamber at that time. Or that's when the depression comes. That's when the stagnation comes. That's when the darkness comes, when you get stuck in the chamber. But if you continue to know that it's going to always be changing your life, it's always going to be constant, it's always going to be a new you and a new view, then you should just continue to just walk forward, because it's not over until it's done, and then who knows if it's even done when it's done. So you know what I mean? Like what's after this? But it's not going to be done until you're done with this incarnation. So it's best to just keep learning yourself, and plus it makes life even more fulfilling when you're learning yourself through the journey. Don't be hard on yourself, because it's constantly changing. That's the main thing. Don't feel guilty of your past, because the past, it serves us, but it's no longer there. And that future is just a figment of our imagination as well at this point. So all we got is right now, and what you're gonna do about it. Yeah, right now,
hey,
talking high. Right now, we talking high.
Hey, man,
that's all we can do is
Hey, Eric Thomas, who? Les Brown, who? You know what I mean? That's why I was sitting here thinking, man, because this next question I was gonna ask you, I know I still want you to answer it, but everything you just said just let me know right there. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And what I mean by that is that I was going to ask you what separates you from the Eric Thomases, the Les Browns, the Warren Buffetts, even in spiritual with the TD Jakes, and all these other speakers out here. You feel what I'm saying? What separates you? But you already shown me that through your vibration, through your frequency, and it's nothing but 5D knowledge and inner self motivation, giving the people that energy that goes straight into their cells, which feed their spirit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not just talking for them to listen, but you know what I mean? You're sending beams of energy to them through your frequency of your voice, like those type of things. You feel what I'm saying? So I recognize that, but I still want to ask you anyway, what separates you from your average day-to-day motivational speakers?
Yeah, and that's called I think they call it in the I think they call that real, like when you can speak. A lot of people have that ability. Politicians, preachers, speakers, they have that ability to be able to hold a crowd and speak those words out, and the words hit people. My idea of it was, what is that energy?
Right.
What is that energy that I'm pushing out to these people? What is that? How do you build that energy up? How do you bring that energy back to you? And how do you protect yourself from the energies and the things that's affecting us in our world? And I always said to myself, when we look at the world on the surface level, it's hard to figure out. It's like, man, this ain't adding up when we just look at the surface. But when you add the metaphysical, which a lot of things can't be proven scientifically because they can't be observed. But if you're looking at the metaphysics, we looking at consciousness, we looking into that energy, we looking into those transfers, we looking into forces of energy that take our own energy. So that's what separates me from them, just an upgraded version of what they were doing. But at the same time, now we're going to tell the truth. It's not just, okay, I'm going to say some motivation. I'm going to put motivation in there. I'm going to put the truth in there, and I'm going to slide it in there in a way where it may hit you later.
Facts, because and that's important, because you see so many motivational speakers and they be like, yeah, you gotta grind, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, right? But do they give you a metaphysical aspect of character traits you have to change about yourself? Do they teach you about the inner self-work? Do they teach you about that voice that talks to you all day, gives you new ideas, creativity? What is that? You feel what I'm saying? They never go deep enough. They just get you hyped up to go do something. But if you're not walking in purpose, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sorry.
You good. No, I was saying you just fueling the program. You fueling that system, because a lot of things that we talk about are just, superficial things and superficial goals. Like, man, go get that money, materialism and things like that, and that type of hustle to it. But it's like, nah, bro, like it's deeper than that at this point. We already achieved that, and then we seen like, oh man, you see people blowing their head, killing themselves, and rappers going crazy. We get the money, we get the material, but that's when I knew then, like, wait a minute, it's something else to this, all of this. So that's the part they don't tell you, because that's the part they don't want you to know, really.
Yeah, they want you to skip right over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the inner work and beginning to align yourself with your purpose in general is going to create, because as we know, money and stuff like that, that's energy.
Mm-hmm.
And what's more magnetic than being yourself? And that's going to manifest that type of energy in general when you discover your own worth, for one. So I feel like, the way that the culture is now, it's just going to get and just solely focus on the money and not actually what you're doing to generate that money. For one, it'll come back. It's never going to be sustainable or like solid, or how do you say it? It's going to come and it's going to go. It's not going to be consistent, and when you're walking in your purpose, it comes out of nowhere. You don't have to even go out of your, you're not exhausted and you're not burnt out, and you're in alignment, you're in a flow. That doesn't mean that you're not going to need rest from time to time, but it's just an energy of, you just being and being able to just be, other than, selling yourself for anything outside of self to gain it.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
And so a question I want to ask you as well is like, what was it like to realize, or like, what's your perception on purpose in general? Like, do you feel like you're walking in your purpose? And if you do, at what point in your journey did you realize that?
Recently. No, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Recently, just based on like I said, I always knew it was something. I always knew that it was a bigger purpose to my life. I always knew I had maybe more of a mission, not even on the ego type tip, just like, because it was hard. Like, I always knew it was always a lot I had to learn, lessons I had to learn, things I had to go. And but it was also always divine, though. I was always protected. I was always getting out of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, there's got to be something deeper. That's how my mind works. I'm like, if I'm still here, if I'm still surviving, if I made it out of that situation, snuck out of that, what's really going on the other side of this? So let me keep going.
Yeah.
I think when we're young, I made a video. I said it was called divine intervention, even when you're acting reckless. Divine intervention, like situations where it could have been way deeper charges or other things could have happened, and it did happen to other people that was right beside me. So I said, okay, like 50 Cent say, he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't breathing,
Right.
For a reason, so that's that was kind of my mindset on a lower level of it. But then it started helping people, and it started and I started seeing that it was pure, and then I said, hold up, I got to work on myself if I'm going to step to this world like this. And I feel like I never really got the recognition or even was getting the followers or the videos going viral until I got to a certain level within myself. And by the time people showed up, I had already been moving. I was already moving because I had that idea in my mind, like, something's about to happen. I'm still here.
Right.
Now I know it's just how my brother here just broke it down. What I'm doing is speaking life into people, inspiring people. People hit me in the inbox all day long now, man. Like, bro, I come to Instagram just for your page. I got a responsibility to the people. It's 200,000 people that decided to hear me. So that's my goal, like to stay solid on that foundation. So I just be regular. I just live a normal life with it. But it's blowing up, though. I'm gonna keep it real. It's like
it's gonna continue to. And it's funny.
In the timing too, like the timing that we're in the universe, in the collective, and hearing this from the teachers, the Bobby Hemmett's telling me that you're next. You guys are next up.
Right.
Generation. This one, I'm 20 years old and hearing like, everybody about to wake up. You about to see more people doing this and doing that. And next thing I know, 2020 hit. He said they were saying things like the world was going to shut down. It was going to be martial law. You was going to be inside. All these prophecies, the end of the Mayan calendar, all these different, the Kali Yuga cycles and different things of the collective consciousness changing. Yeah. And that's why. And then once it came to the time, and when mine started going, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm right on time then.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot more to go. It's like we early. Like I always tell people that's doing it now, like you are very early. This is 1,000-year journey. So,
Yeah,
that's facts.
hey, that's
That's
powerful.
facts.
You know, and it's just a beautiful thing, because I think that, you know, just for you to say that you're barely discovering or realizing that you're walking your purpose and you're in where you're in alignment or doing what you're supposed to be doing, it just kind of shows us that we just the main thing is just to continue to work on yourself and not to give up, even if you don't necessarily know which way you're going or whether you're walking your purpose or not. If you just continue to do the inner work, eventually that path will naturally unfold itself for you. So I think that's a beautiful thing, for one, but also brings me back to a post that you made a while back, and you had discovered that you're in life path number 33. So I want to ask you, like, when you discovered that and you found that out, like, how did that feel? And then just putting that into like perspective with your whole life as a whole.
Man, it blew my mind, really, because it was like, see, I don't get into the numerology or the astrology aspect of it. I do get readings. I do let other people tell me things. So when I read that a master number was like a rare number, and you're supposed to be a speaker, and you're supposed to be spiritual and all these different things, I'm like, and like I said, when I first came in, I always knew, I always had something there. Right. My deep aspect, when I would look at myself in the mirror when I was 8 years old, I used to be like, what it mean to be Ricky? Like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to look at myself at that age, and I couldn't explain that question. I'm still trying to answer that question. And I think everybody is, you know, it's deeper than the name, but just going into my name, that's my dad's name, but it means powerful ruler. And then when I came up with Prestige, because that's the name I came up with, it meant ranked high amongst society. And I found that while I was at Georgia Southern, and I just said, so it's like I said before, it's all kinds of links and keys to your life to let you know where you're supposed to be. And that was just another confirmation that I'm walking the right way. And it didn't come to me until, because it might have been ego before, like, oh yeah, I knew I was special. I knew I was chosen. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So now I'm on the right way.
That's deep. And I love that, because you said you found out that purpose or energy when you was what, 8?
Yeah, 8.
I'm a life path 8. Kai's a life path 8. So that just lets you know how interconnected the universe is. You feel what I'm saying?
Conversation. That was a wavelength right there.
You feel me? And that's how deep it goes. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't even think people get that sometimes when, you know, they speak certain things out of their mouths. You feel me? So just being a master, because you got to be a wordsmith. You got to be a master of words, even with your writing. You feel me? And all the books that you have. You feel what I'm saying? So I just want you to talk to the people about how important it is, the things that you say, even when you just thinking it's a joke. The universe don't take it as a joke. You feel what I'm saying? So I want you to speak to the people about that.
Yeah. Your spoken word has power. You know, the word has power. Like, they even say that in the religions and things like that. And with me, when it comes to my words and the things that I say, sometimes that's why I wear these shades a lot. People probably, might get uncomfortable with it, but the reason why I wear them is because sometimes I close my eyes when I speak, and what happens is it's almost like a channel. Like you have, you have an intuition. You have a flow of thoughts that's coming to you. Yes. We have ideas flowing in the Akashics. We have things flowing to us all day long. Negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts, other people's thoughts, all kind of these energies. Yeah. You know, when it comes to what comes out of my mouth, I'm trying to get the clearest channel to it to speak it out. And then it can be reversed as well. The same way that I can speak life, I can speak death. I can when the other side of me is it's a fire. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be careful with, because I know how to, when you're spiritual, you know how to look at someone and see things about them. And you can get those insights, and you could say it out loud on accident, and you can hit some of their lowest points.
Yeah.
They trigger you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I tell you about what you thinking about when you were 7 because I just got that insight. But that's why it's just like it's just when it comes to like when I get on platforms like this or I'm speaking to certain individuals, I try to make sure that I have the channel clear. So like even before I did this, I went for, and this is just to help people with their words and get these insights. I went on a walk. I walked to the store just to get my little supplies. I walked to the store and I come back so I could be in nature. Then I did a little breathing exercise. Before y'all see me, I breathe in, I breathe out. I close my eyes. I listen to y'all while y'all speaking. Even now, I close my eyes and listen to y'all, and things will come that should be the right things to say. But you have to get in tune with yourself to know what voices is coming to your head, and they put you in the right way.
And that right there, my brother, is the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Indeed. You know, we do have a question for you from the boss lady. And she says, how can you discover your light path?
Your life path?
Your light path.
Light path?
Yes.
I'm not sure on the question. She mean like how do you find your own light, or
I would the way that I'm taking it.
She might have meant light path.
Wrong, boss lady. Are you asking basically how do you find your divine path, like your destined path, your chosen path? Is that what you're asking?
I think she might be talking about the life path.
Or life, or maybe a life path. Yeah, it's life. L-I-F-E, life path number. Basically
I like added I think, like I said,
your birthday.
Yeah, there you go. You probably know more about it than me, right? Like I said, it came.
Life path number 8 as well. Me and Crandell, life path number 8.
Yeah.
But you can take your birthday and you can go on Google.
Right. I mean,
you can go to the life path calculator and it'll break it down for you and it'll let you know your life path number. Now, another thing that actually recently discovered was that you can, which is through Floyd, and he actually it's like, how do I say, it's like name readings based off of your name, and it's crazy because he did mine and it aligned not only with my astrology chart but also with my life path number.
Who did you say?
Huh?
Who did you say?
Oh, he basically did a reading for me with my name.
What was his name?
Floyd. His name is Floyd.
Strayhorn?
No, he's let me see.
Yeah, like I don't know much
about Floyd Lee Jr. Which eventually I'll bring him on, but right now, basically, if you guys want to find your life path number, go to Google and look for the life path number calculator, and it'll give you your life path number. But I just thought that was interesting because when I seen that, I was like, oh man, that's crazy, because it aligns with you so well. And I don't know much. I didn't know much about you previously besides what I've seen on social media.
That's right.
And to just you doing your thing. And so when I seen that and just realizing that you had just discovered that, I just love things like that because it just reminds me of, like a lot of us, it's just like people think that we always know what we're doing and we know everything to everything. And then we realize like, no, we're figuring it out. We're just trying to figure it out just like everybody else. And we're just going with the flow and not necessarily fighting against it, know?
And I want people to know that because that was a problem that I had coming up. Like, I want people to know that I'm just like y'all, a lot of people on this journey with me. People will see the numbers and see different things like that, but that's just numbers. That doesn't really define you. And I know when I was coming up and I was looking at teachers and I remember all these brothers I was listening to, I'm like, man, these brothers on another level. Like they was like vegan and doing their workouts, but I'm getting there now though. I see how you can get there now, but it was like perfection. And because it was so perfect, I was always skeptical of it. And a lot of those people that I seen that was so perfect, they had some of the deepest secrets. So once this came to me, I said, no, y'all not gonna get me. I'm gonna let you know, hey, it's a shadow here as well. It's aspects of myself that I'm working on. Don't idolize me. Don't idolize me and make me into, because you can get knocked off of that very easily. We've seen that. That's my role to get idolized. I don't want that, because I know I'm going to make mistakes, because that's what I'm for.
And that takes away your humanness and your the you know what I'm saying? It's like you never want to put, all you want to do is look at people as basically the way that I like to look at it is that if I'm looking at somebody doing something that I think is inspirational or motivational or inspires me to get better myself, I'm looking at that as that it's just proof that it can be done and I can do it too. But we shouldn't put people on pedestals because it becomes toxic, and it takes away people's freedom to be able to make mistakes and humble themselves, you know, and just realize that, hey, I'm not perfect. And sometimes when we come up with that, or like when we show up in that authentic state, they take you right off. I'm like, yeah, please do that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have been up there in the first place, you know.
Yeah, you gotta
who's done the work. You can do that too. You know,
you gotta love yourself first. Like, you gotta love yourself when you start the journey. Like, if you do get popular, if you do get a lot of views, you gotta already have love yourself prior to this showing up.
Yeah,
lose yourself.
You have to. That's the foundation of it, because you know this is like you were. As a matter of fact, that goes into a video. I'll save it. I'll say what I'm gonna say, because there's a video I'm gonna play of yours after our commercial here, which we're going to do in just a second. But, you know, you're right. You know, you have to love yourself first.
Got to.
Period. So with that being said, because I do want to say this. So we're going to take a couple minutes for a break really quick, guys, and go over some of our business partners. And we shall be right back.
No doubt.
All right.
Peace, family, peace. To the gods and goddesses out there. This is C here with Eyes Open Clothing, where we specialize in metaphysical symbology in every piece of our clothing. And we also blending that with streetwear as well. Very comfortable, stylish for any occasion, but you still letting people know what you represent, that higher consciousness and that higher vibration. So tap in with us, family. Ashe.
Discover Connection to Ascension, your online metaphysical shop. We offer readings, spell work, Reiki energy healing, metaphysical products, handmade crystal jewelry, and annual retreats and parties. Visit us at connectiontoascension.com and elevate your spirit today. Ashe.
How you doing, my beautiful brothers and sisters? If you're looking for an all-natural brand, the Ancestor Hands is that brand for you. I invented this brand to give people like me a great product at a lesser price, and made sure I kept all the harmful chemicals out of my products. Ancestor Hands is more than a brand, it's a movement. So leave those chemical brands alone and come home to Ancestor Hands.
Peace to the gods and goddesses, y'all. Join me June 29th for an exciting online event where you'll learn how to tap into your inner wisdom and trust your intuition like never before. With my expertise, I'll take you through practical steps to unlock your unique oracle abilities. Discover how to tune into your inner voice, interpret signs from the universe, and make decisions with confidence. Don't miss this opportunity to unleash your intuition and transform your life. Don't miss out on your opportunity to unlock your full potential with Ricky and his Mind Alignment Freedom Bundle, a transformative collection designed to help you elevate your consciousness and empower your mind. Now, this digital bundle includes 3 powerful books and an exclusive audiobook, all meticulously crafted to guide you on your journey towards spiritual and mental freedom. Link is in the description box. Don't miss out.
Come see us at SHABAZZ AI, where we specialize in spiritual and black cultural art of all styles, celebrating richness of faith and spirituality, cultural traditions, and the vibrant colors and powerful symbolism of our people. We work with clients from all spiritual paths and backgrounds to create the products that they need for their businesses. But SHABAZZ AI is not just about art. We are UC Davis certified to create single web page applications that will showcase your brand, product, or portfolio. And And the best part is we are affordable and will always try to work with you in your budget. Whether you're an artist, entrepreneur, or small business owner, we have got your back and have got you covered. Go visit us at Fiverr.com and search Lucius AI. That is Fiverr.com, Lucius AI. Or DM your request to Lucius Shabazz or Shabazz AI on Facebook Messenger. Use the promo code CosmicAI24 for any and all discounts. I'll be looking for you.
All right, guys, we are back. So I did want to save my comment for this video because I wanted to play this because this is something that you posted in the last 24 hours, I believe. And I thought it was so on point for myself. And I just had to make sure that it was shared tonight. So let me go ahead and play it really quickly. And then I can go into what I was going to tell, what I wanted to speak on. So 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Somebody commented on one of my posts and they said, to you spiritual people, we laugh at you in your face and behind your back. And I thought that was funny because I'm like, I can tell you don't have an understanding of self because we all are spiritual. We're all spiritual beings. See, what has happened is you're looking at social media. You're looking at these people that have appointed themselves as spiritual gurus, as spiritual masters. You don't really understand how deep this really goes. You don't understand the initiation period. You don't understand how much it took for me to be able to stand here and say these words to you. You don't know how much it takes to be able to stand in a position of isolation and shadow work and to be outcasted by others and to be called crazy and to be called names when you know deep inside of yourself, all you doing is what God is telling you to do. All you doing is what your soul is telling you to do. People like you and people that think it's funny, they're disconnected. They think it's a spiritual starter pack. They're looking at these fake people, but not really recognizing that spirituality is everybody's inner journey. You should get closer with your soul.
Woo.
Hey, hold up.
That hit me in my soul, and it made me think of, like you said, you really have to love yourself on this journey, especially if you're going to put yourself out there on the forefront, because there's so many different energies, different entities that are going to come for you and going to come for your character, who you are, and who you proclaim yourself to be. And if you're not who you proclaim yourself to be, then it could be disastrous. So, I had to applaud you on that, because it takes a lot to be able to step into this type of work spiritually, knowing that, just an evil eye can throw off your energy if it's too strong.
Wow, right.
And for some people, bro, before you even speak on that, because I know where I'm coming from, you know what I mean, as a man, and you feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you see a lot of women, they be like, especially if they talk down on masculine men, a lot of women that's not into, that higher consciousness level, they talk down on spiritual men, they laugh at them. You got your homeboys switching up on you, your family switch on you because you don't want to go do certain shit with them no more. Now all of a sudden you got people throwing dirt on you. Now all of a sudden, self-doubt will start to creep in within yourself. How did you push through all of that? Because it's a lot of unpacking. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot, and it can be hard at times, but it always go back to knowing yourself. It all go back to loving yourself. It all go back to that inner voice. I know how to bounce back, bro. Like when I feel down like that, I know how to get right. Like they don't even know like the dude that, like what I would do. Let me give you an for instance. Like, I have heavy days. I have hard days. I have days where I'm like, damn, I'm by myself. But like I was kind of shy how my family did or somebody did like that, But I spend time solo. I'll go outside and like late night, I'll just sit out there sometime and I'll put my feet in the ground and I'll release it all. And then I hear those insights. I hear that voice again. And that voice will start telling me, man, don't worry about that. That was small. This person projecting this on. And I'll get the answer to whatever I was feeling that was so bad. So that's what I'm saying. Like that intuition and that godhood in you, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just if you're going to shut it down, then when you shut it down, then you end up, when you shut it down, that's when you end up getting lost into everybody else. But when I go into that, and it's like going into my own little room there, and I just and I'll get those insights, and I'll be able to power up, and I'll remember what the mission is, and those things will look like an illusion, and I'll be able to push them away so easily because this programming is basic. Like they so basic now to me because I'm powered up. Like,
yeah.
And I was about to say that too. I was about to say, right, because you go through those steps in your spiritual journey where, you know, whether people believe it or not, they throwing Agent Smiths at your ass. You know what I'm saying? You like, bro, I learned this thing about chakras today, bro. Man, what you talking about some chakras? Agent Smith right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
You feel what I'm
saying? I'll speak to that too, because I got to bring myself down, because I have gotten to the point, I got to go back to where I remember where it was like hard, because now it's like, I done got that Teflon because I didn't went there. Yeah. But I remember what you're saying though. Let me go back to that point. Let me go back about 8 years or 10 years of what it looked like then. Right. And man, that was hard. That is no other way to say it than it's heartbreaking, because and it's supposed to hurt, and it should hurt, and you should sit on that for a while, and you shouldn't just try to act like it didn't hurt, because it does, and you solo. And then I started realizing, like, I'm solo because I got a bigger mission. And it's like in the Bible they say, and I'm just quoting a book now, don't get me wrong, but like in the Bible, Jesus had to sit for 40 days, 40 nights in the wilderness. That's how I started looking at it. And then I found my disciples once I went outside again. But I had to sit with God, I had to get tempted by the devil. I had to make a choice if I was going to keep walking forward, or if I was just going to go back to what I was doing and be in this comfort zone. But I was depressed and miserable. So I said no. And even through the depression and being miserable, I just kept pushing and kept going. And then now it's like I got a divine connection that can't be broken by those little small things. And eventually you'll start getting the answer to what to do next. And you'll see that it's an illusion.
Absolutely. And I agree 100%. You know, we need that. We need that alone time. You know, a lot of us wouldn't be who we are today without that alone time. Spirit has to isolate us in order for us to not be distracted by everything else external from us. Because as we know, you know, like the saying goes, like the 5 people that you keep around you are going to tell you about who you are and yourself. And when you don't have nobody around you, you have no choice but to deal with yourself and to learn yourself, you know? And so those things, like when you come out of that, you realize that, you know, you start realizing a whole lot of things about yourself that you didn't think that were there. And so it gives you an opportunity to really sit and know and understand and overstand who you are and at a core level, you know. And most people don't want to be alone. A lot of us don't want to be alone. That's why we're on social media. That's why we're outside on a daily basis. We're looking for stimuli to stimulate us, to keep us from actually going within ourselves. So we're looking for validation and comfort and stimuli external from us in order for us to feel okay. But when you're in that space where spirit forces you to be alone and you don't want to be on social media, you don't want to be around people, you're in that state of so-called depression, which is more of an ego death to the things that you were attached to. You know, once you break free out of that, you do come out with that power, like you said, because now you're understanding now all of those things that people are projecting are just simply that, a projection.
And it's crazy you said 40 days, 40 nights, because when I was going through a time in my life where I was just losing everything, the job, the car, the girls, the this, the that, you know what I mean? The family, the friends, the material, everything that I was working so hard for gone to shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I felt like Job. You know what I mean? I felt like Job. But it wasn't in a sense where I'm praising a sky daddy or nothing like that. I put it into a metaphysical sense of I understand the energy here. I got all these materials and something still ain't clicking. It's something deeper that I'm not doing. You know what I mean? It was a reason for all of this happening. And, you know, now that I'm on a path of trying to do righteous, karma don't have no expiration date. She can hit you whenever, right? So they say, oh, you've been doing this wrong all this time, and you think just because, you know, you doing a couple things here, a little bit of knowledge there, that is over with. No. So you know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people understand that either. That point of, man, you're gonna go through it. You're gonna lose a lot going through this spiritual journey. I'm talking about not only materially, you're gonna lose some people emotionally. You're gonna go through some heartbreak. You know what I mean? And you have to be willing to push through that turmoil to get to, you know, the ultimate destination of having a life you want, but doing it in a righteous way.
That's right.
You know, knowing that those things are needed, though that separation is needed, is the ego death, the dark night of the soul, you leaving what you thought you needed or thought you wanted or thought you had to have in your life, and you get stripped and you get ripped and you get taken away from it in order for you to ascend and move into higher states of awareness for yourself, you know. And so sometimes we all have the opportunity to do so, but a lot of us get stuck in the loop of missing what wasn't for us or what needed to go, and that keeps us stagnant. So I want to ask you something as far as like just being, when you experience those states of depression or you experience those low moments, how did you maneuver through those, and what kind of practices did you do to get you through those times?
Yeah, definitely. Meditation was my key. Meditation was like, when I discovered meditation, that was like all I needed. Because I was able to feel like, I remember I used to work at Walmart, and before I went to Walmart, I used to always be so upset because I had to go to Walmart and I got aggravated with it. And then I started meditating. I like pulled up this YouTube video. It was like, and I still use that one too, by the way. It's a good one. It's deep in my playlist, but it's like balance your chakras. And I remember I used to do that, and then I used to just go to work and I would feel totally different. And I would just be able to handle the day. So I really was coming at it from a superficial aspect of it, of just feeling good. But now I know I was raising my vibration before I went in there. And one of the things that was cool about it too, just to kind of speak on that, and that's when, you know, my life always kind of been spiritual. I remember one time I meditated before I went in there, and then it was this real religious lady that worked with me, this white lady named Miss Judy. And she was like, man, you just different today. She was like, and I was like, you know, Miss Judy, I felt like I was speaking to God. I know she was in there, everything. I was like, I was speaking to God. She was like, really? I knew it. And she was like, I knew it. And she came up to me and she was like, you don't believe me? Look at my arms. And her arms had goosebumps on it.
Wow.
It's just a random way. And that was like meditation. Something else going on, bro. Like, to myself, she might not have known that, but you know, that's how the spirit talked to me. Like it was even her, even though we had different beliefs. Yeah, confirmations. But meditation used to put me through there. I used to always listen to music. I used to listen to, I remember I used to listen to Guapella. I can't even say her name really. That Closer to My Dreams.
Guadalupe?
Yeah.
That was my affirmation to get up out of
that. Yes.
Yeah, I used to get up out that hole with that one. And
I didn't think other brothers like that song, man. All right, I ain't the only one.
I ain't care. I ain't care.
I
was like, I ain't care. That's what I'm saying. I was in the in the apartment. They like, bro, what you in there listening to that depressing music? Bro? I'm like, no, bro, you hear her? Like, she's I just remember listening to that. I still used to listen to stuff like Boosie and stuff like that. But
yeah, absolutely.
I used to have my playlist, and my playlist would kind of how I share my message now when I do the memes, and then I put the song behind it. That's how my day would go. I would put in like songs that would motivate me. It could be about money. It could be about whatever. I would just make these playlists, and that would motivate me. They would be like, I was doing a lot of things before I knew what I was doing. But Big Crit.
And you know, that's how it works though.
Yes, sir.
That's how it works. And that's what I was saying, like saying earlier, like we don't even half the time we don't even know exactly what we're doing. We just end up doing it because we feel led to do it. And then next thing you know, you realize that you were on the right path the entire time.
Yep.
And I love that you said that too, because that's what it was for me. Like when I first started meditating, it was because it felt good. I was like, oh man, like I can relax now. My body feels like I didn't smoke some weed. Like without the
it felt better. It felt better than that.
Yeah. I was like, it did. And but I haven't smoked in years. So it was just like, but that's how it felt. You know, I was able to, and I have ADHD. So I'm like, you know, I'm all over the place. So being able to meditate, it was like, it was almost addicting. I was just like, any moment I felt myself get out of place, I'm like,
feel like I might be like that now though. I'll jump into a meditation in the car at any given time.
Exactly. But
the first thing for me was just, you know, losing my mother at an early age and just wishing she was there. So, you know, sometimes we just look up in the sky and we talk. And I'm like, I know she can hear me. I know she can hear me. It got to be some way that she can hear me. And then I learned about meditation and then, you know, reaching out to your ancestors in spirit, you know what I mean? And everything of that nature. So it's like, okay, this is how I recover my inner child. Mama, here I come. You feel what I'm saying? I love you, Ma. You feel what I'm saying? But I didn't really, you know, have that good childhood experience. You feel what I'm saying? So I really started meditating, and you know, when I finally heard her voice back and really felt it, like you said, you'll feel the goosebumps, you'll feel the tears. It was like, oh yeah, I can't never get off of this path because man, we locked in. We locked in here now. They thought they was doing something, they ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Nothing. Like the simplest things power us back up. Our breath.
Yeah.
Like I would have never thought that. I would have never thought it was just my breath. I would have never thought it was my words. I would have never thought it was things I listen to and watch. And it's so simple, but it's so deep at the same.
Simple. The simplest thing.
Yeah. However it got us, that's what we got to reverse it. Just do it the other way. And that's another way that I learned how to get up out of that. Like, y'all pushing this, I'm gonna do it this way then.
Yeah.
Exactly. So before we close this out, because it's been a great conversation, and I would definitely look forward to working with you in the future.
No doubt.
I want to say that if you can give like our audience, our viewers, listeners, watchers, just some motivational inspiration, and also if you can go over your Mind Alignment Freedom Bundle.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Sure. Well, the Mind Alignment Bundle, that's just something I got going for Juneteenth, the Freedom Bundle, because I feel like, you know, the main true freedom is the freedom of your own mind. It comes with 3 of the books, Mind Alignment 1, Wake Up Your Stolen Greatness Through Mind Power, Mind Alignment 2.0, Paradigm Shift of the Black Mind, and then You Win When You're Right Within, 11 Keys to Spiritual Alignment, and that's an audio book with that as well. So that's like the Freedom Bundle. And I said Juneteenth, that'll be perfect. I'm speaking at 2 Juneteenth events here in Augusta, Georgia. So that's kind of that's the direction I was going with that. But yeah, as far as it goes, yeah, that's what I got going right now with the books. And just as far as the motivation for the people, give me a moment with it though. I want to make sure I get it in the right way.
Absolutely.
Just pay attention to your moment by moment frequency. Pay attention to your energy, how it moves throughout the day. Have the techniques and the understanding of how to get back to your highest vibration that you're looking for. Know how to center yourself even when it looks like it's hard and it looks like it's no way out. Break down your reality and realize that a lot of things that we go through are illusions that's just going to push us to another level of understanding and another level of doing more for the collective and for ourselves. Look at it like time is an illusion as well. That way you can be more patient with the journey. You can realize our lifetimes happen in seconds on the universal level of it. So love it, take advantage of it, and don't let nobody take it away from you.
That's fair.
I say. Well, I love that. And I thank you so much for joining us and being here. You guys make sure to follow Ricky on all his social media platforms to get that bundle. It is in the description box, you guys. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. He's on all social media platforms. So make sure you guys tap in for Kozmic Konnectionz. You guys follow us on YouTube and as well as Facebook. Other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Ricky, thank you so much for being here.
And I hope to see you again, brother. It was a pleasure having you on, man. I still had a couple questions in the chamber, but I hope you come back for a part 2.
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I hate to see us go, but I love the show. I love your audience. I appreciate everybody, and y'all keep doing y'all thing. Y'all doing a great service.
Appreciate that, King.
Thank you. All right, bye, guys.
What I'm saying is you can't rush my greatness. I've been elevating daily on a mission for my people. All the love I've been receiving, oh, got me oh so dedicated.